The impending threat of climate change is something that affects the security of our future. The solution lies in sustainable practices, such as switching from fossil fuels to renewable energy. Offshore wind energy is one of the biggest alternative energy sources being developed in our home state, Maryland.
The development of offshore wind farms will support the health of the Chesapeake Bay and surrounding bodies of water because it will create better fish habitats and help solve climate change.
There are many positive aspects that come from offshore wind power. Number one, it helps us solve global warming, which is the biggest long-term threat to the Bay.
This is a huge priority for the Biden administration. Obviously, the president talks about climate as one of the four primary crises that our nation is facing. And where there's crises, there's opportunities. And offshore wind provides an enormous opportunity.
In January 2021, the Biden administration issued an executive order whose goal was to expand the clean energy economy. But one particular initiative bodes well for the Chesapeake Bay.
The two wind turbines that you see behind me are two pilot turbines, our CVAL test turbines. They were installed in the summer of 2020, where, we've got right now, there are a couple of bills in Congress to look at manufacturing tax credits to help underwrite some of the costs of this development. We've got the Department of Energy and the Department of Interior both working hard together.
Offshore wind structures provide really great hard cover for ecosystems, for fish.
There are huge boulders that surround the base of the towers called scour protection. Less than 12 months later already looks like an undersea reef.
Maryland's Chesapeake Bay hosts a large variety of species, including 173 species of shellfish and 348 species of finfish. Currently, the bay is struggling due to decades of human-caused pollution, overfishing, and damage to its fish habitats.
I think the most recent grade that it was given was a D+. The bay is an unusually warm body of water for its size. Its average depth is only 20 feet. That warmth on the surface air from global warming translates very quickly to the water. The water is getting warmer in the Chesapeake Bay, and that is really hurting a lot of aspects of the ecosystems, especially the underwater grasses.
The crabs depend on lee waters. They depend on protection from wind-driven wave action because that protects the bay grasses in which they breed and such.
Everything, the fish, the crabs, the oysters, are all dependent on healthy underwater grasses, and these grasses are very sensitive to temperature.
East Coast offshore wind farm development is estimated to generate millions of dollars and is predicted to provide thousands of stable, good-paying jobs in a variety of sectors.
Offshore wind farms will affect the local economy in some very positive ways. As a matter of fact, just about 2 weeks ago, we did a major announcement here in Virginia that Siemens Gamesa, which is a major Spanish offshore wind manufacturer, is going to be building their first blade facility in the United States here in Portsmouth. We've got agreements with Maryland and North Carolina for expanding our workforce. And then we're looking to bring the supply chain. You see the power, the lines and the transformers and everything every day. This is actually creating an electric grid in the ocean, which is actually phenomenal because, believe it or not, an ocean-based grid is more stable than a land-based one.
The Chesapeake Bay is the largest estuary system in the world. And if you let a system that big fail, you're going to lose the tourism, which is a billion-dollar industry for the Bay States. You're also going to lose the fishing industry.
There have been some concerns raised about offshore wind farms.
Also, offshore wind could provide some ecosystem challenges, and we have to be really careful about those. Most of the commercial fishing trade groups in coastal Maryland, when they first heard about offshore wind farms, they were concerned, like, are they going to get in the way of our boats? Are we going to be told we can't get near them? Are they going to hurt fishery stocks? And the more data that they learned, they were convinced that this was actually going to be a net positive.
And we're already seeing really good numbers around black bass. Somebody said they pulled about 2 million pounds of squid this year. When you're offshore, though, what it allows for is for you to create turbines that are substantially larger.
I think the Biden administration and the Department of Interior has been very serious about making sure that nothing happens with offshore wind that is detrimental to established ecosystems. I mean, there have been so many conversations about studies on endangered right whales and migratory birds. These conversations have been going on for almost a decade, and I think the data is totally in.
The initiative for offshore wind development is crucial for the future of the Chesapeake Bay and the state of Maryland.